Hey guys, Mark Harbert from markharbert.com here, and as you can see, I'm in a different location. I'm actually right now coming to you from Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I'm actually here at a high-level mastermind. So today's video is from a very special location, but we're going to talk about the employee mindset versus the entrepreneur mindset. This is something that's so crucial if you want to succeed. So stick with me here till the end. I've got some great stuff to share with you. So basically what happens is in our industry, in the home-based business industry, no matter what your business model is, could be affiliate marketing, top tier marketing, direct sales, network marketing, you name it. What happens is most people come from a background of being an employee. In other words, they work for somebody else. And the overwhelming majority of people grow up thinking, go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a safe, secure job, and then retire on a pension or a retirement fund. And that is pretty much drilled into everybody in society, including myself as I grew up. That's how I thought, and I know many other people think that way as well. But being an entrepreneur is actually very, very different. And there's nothing wrong. First off, I want to say there's nothing wrong with being an employee, okay? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Being an employee is an honorable thing. Work is honorable. As far as I'm concerned, all work is honorable. But there is a difference, you see, because if you decide that you're going to step out of the employee sphere and you want to step into the entrepreneurial sphere, you've got to understand that there are two different ways of thinking. Okay, the employee mentality says, I work an hour, I get paid an hour. The entrepreneur says, I've got something I need to do. I could work 80, 100, 1,000 hours before I actually see a payoff. I'm just, obviously exaggerating a little bit, but I could work 100 or 200 or 300 or 500 hours before I actually see a result. But here's the difference. You see, when you step over into the entrepreneurial world, you're not paid on a per hour basis. You're paid on production. You're paid based upon what is the solution that you're bringing to the marketplace. And there could be a whole process of bringing that solution to the marketplace before people actually start to buy. So there could be a process involved. And during that whole process, you're not getting paid. It's when you actually start to make sales that you'll start to make the money. So there's a very different mindset here that you've got to switch to if you decide that you want to become an entrepreneur. And that's, of course, why you're here, because you want to be an entrepreneur. But I have found over the years that one of the most difficult transitions for people to make is to make the shift from employee to entrepreneur. And there are many different ways of thinking that actually can sabotage a person. Now, let me give you an example, and I've used this example many times, but I used to be an air conditioning technician, and my job was to work on $1 million pieces of equipment. And one of my accounts was a aquarium in San Diego. It was actually out of La Jolla, and it was an aquarium. And now in this aquarium, there are millions upon millions of dollars worth of exotic fish that came from the ocean there for the aquarium. My job was to work on the chiller that kept all the water temperature at the precise temperature that it needed to be. And you had like a little range of a couple degrees that you could work within, and all that water had to stay at that level. Now, this is how crucial this is, because if you go out of that range, all these fish, these exotic fish, could be in danger of dying. And so you could see there was a massive pressure on me to make sure that I didn't get it wrong. I had to work on these big pieces of equipment, and I needed to be very, very careful, number one, when operating machinery, but also when working on it as well. So when I had that mentality that everything had to be perfect, everything had to be just right, you see, I could carry that mentality over into the entrepreneurial space. And for me, I actually did carry that type of mentality in for a long time. And that's why I didn't get a lot of results, because everything I thought had to be perfect. And because I thought that way, it actually kept me from taking action on the things that I knew, because I had this perfection mentality. And since I've actually changed the way I think, and I actually think with more of a mentality of, hey, I'm going to jump out of the airplane and I'll figure out how the parachute works on the way down. Now, most people don't think like that, and I didn't used to think like that, but I do now. I usually will jump in with both feet and I'll figure it out while I'm in there. You see? And that's one of the big differences between an employee and an entrepreneur, is because employees, if you get it wrong and you get it wrong too much, guess what happens? You get fired. Now, as an entrepreneur, guess what? You can make mistakes and you can recover from those mistakes very, very easily. Number one, because a mistake, really, you're the boss. So you can't fire yourself. That's a big thing. Now, there is accountability, of course, in being an entrepreneur, because we're accountable to our customers and our prospects. But in the essence of coming from that mindset of everything's got to be perfect, and then moving over to the entrepreneurial thing, side of the equation, and thinking that way can really stifle growth. It can get people to really not take action, and that's not what I want for you. So as an entrepreneur, you've got to stop thinking that everything needs to be perfect before you take action. I've just seen this. I've worked with thousands of people over the years, literally thousands of people. I've been on hundreds and hundreds of webinars where people have asked me questions on how to do things. And the problem is, so many people get wrapped up in the minutia of the details, of the systematizing of things. And the only reason that is because that's what they're used to. That's what they came out of. They came out of, or they're still in, that employee mentality. And again, I want to point out, being an employee is not a bad thing. It's a very, very good thing. And there are many people in the entrepreneurial world who are still employees, and guess what? They're always going to be, because they enjoy what they do. So it's very important for you to understand, never ever you should bag on employees or people having a job. The only distinction I'm making here is that there's two different ways of thinking in these two different spaces. Whichever one you choose, go full force with it. Because one of the things that you'll notice is that if people are in the employee side of things, but yet they're stepping into the entrepreneur side of things, but they're not fully in, they haven't fully committed, what happens is it actually affects you on both sides. Because if you're an employee and you are trying to be an entrepreneur, okay, you're trying to start your own business, but you're not fully stepping into that role and understanding the intricacies of that role, then what happens is it'll actually affect you as an employee. And I know this for a fact, to be honest with you, because my last job that I had when I was in Southern California, it was affecting me. It affected me in a big way, because I was really focused on changing and becoming an entrepreneur, but I still had one foot in and one foot out, and it wasn't allowing me to be the best employee that I could be. So you have to make the decision if you're going to jump full in on this thing and really, really go. Now, that doesn't mean quitting your job, okay? If you're still an employee and that's where you're at and that's what's paying the bills, put everything you got into your job when you're there. Be present, stop thinking about your business, and be focused on your job. But when it comes time, to, really kick butt and go to work on your business, put all your thoughts into that. Okay, very, very important. So you're going to have to learn for a little while to step out of one role and step into another when it comes time to work your business, okay? But never get those two mixed up, because there's a certain security that comes, at least the idea of security in a job, whereas as an employee, you don't have that same security, because you're not getting that regular paycheck that you know is going to come like clockwork. You could work a very long time in the entrepreneurial side and not make a lot of money. And that sometimes is what detours people, and they have this idea that, well, it's a scam and all this, blah. No, it's not a scam. You're just not understanding what it takes to go out and be an entrepreneur. So I really encourage you, the best way to really transform your mind from employee to entrepreneur is to really put your head into training materials, audios, personal development, get around people who you aspire to be like, get around other entrepreneurs that think the way you want to think, and that will rub off on you. One of the things I'm seeing here at this mastermind this weekend is the brutal honesty that is required for people to have breakthroughs. And it's great sitting in this room of about 25, 30 people and really hearing the different struggles that people have had, but recognizing those struggles so that they can move beyond them and really be honest with themselves as to what the real issues are. And honestly, there's a couple things today, this weekend so far, that I've learned. I'll tell you what, it was kind of confronting to me that, hey, wow, I'm definitely not clear in this area on my business. I need to work on that. So anyway, hope you got some value from that today. If you did, do me a favor, comment below, leave me a comment, let me know how it's benefiting you, and let me know what you got out of it. All right, so if you're seeing this on YouTube or Facebook, make sure you comment, look in the description of this video, and I got a free presentation there that you can watch. And look, if you're looking to get started online, I really believe there's an amazing place that you should start, and I've been using this tool and this community for a long time. Check out the link, look below this video. If you're looking at this on the blog, you'll see a link in the description, or right below this. If you're looking on YouTube or Facebook, look in the description, I'll have a link there for you. But head on over there, check out that presentation, and you can check it out. All right, so I appreciate you. If you want more leads, check that out. But I appreciate you. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video and blog post. All right, talk soon. Bye-bye.